Hello and welcome back. So I'm diving tomorrow, not today, but prep for that starts today. First, hydration. Hydration takes about 24 hours to take effect, so I take my hydration very seriously starting the day before so I don't cramp, and I'm at my optimal hydration levels for breath hold, energy, mental clarity, etc. And I don't train too hard on the day before I dive, and I never train on the same day as I dive. And I'm going to emphasize that I am training and not working out. I'm not here to wear myself out or train to failure or exhaustion. I am practicing movement patterns that make my life easier because I'm trying to train how I perform in real life. All right. So here's a piece of universal training advice that I'm going to give you, and take it or leave it. Training to failure is training to fail. And that applies to everything, even your breath hold. So don't push yourself too hard in anything that you do, because you're likely to train yourself to hate it, and you're going to create a negative neurological response to that, which is going to severely hinder your progress. And another great life skill to practice is the minimal effective dose. I do it with training, I do it with pretty much everything for work. What's the least amount of effort I can put in to get the greatest amount of benefit on the back end? It's that simple. And I won't get into a whole supplements line that I'm into every day, but I will give you a glimpse into what I do every day. And besides a really good electrolyte powder, which should be sugar-free, because sugar is also going to affect your immune system negatively, and it's also going to affect your breath hold. Do your own research on that, but it's pretty significant. And I also take liquid chlorophyll every day. It mimics hemoglobin and red blood cells in your body. It's good for your immune system, helps oxygen absorption. So I highly recommend that one. I noticed a big difference. And I also take creatine monohydrate every day. That is my one strength supplement that I take that I find is pretty significant. Hopefully that helps. Okay, now back to spearfishing. Well, Jake, what's up? And we're gonna go meet up with Alex right now, and we're gonna go do a blue water mission, because we're not giving up on this. We have really terrible luck with blue water, but if we put enough hours in, maybe like, what, 1,000 hours, we might shoot an ono. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. We're about 900 hours into blue water right now. But luckily for us, Jake's power went out yesterday and all of his chum started to thaw. So we have to use all of it today. So we got a big old bag, and hopefully that'll bring some stuff in. We'll see. So it looks like we have a bit of wind and current to deal with, but it's otherwise relatively calm. And we'll hope for the best.
Oh, it's a big load.
Oh yeah. We got a bag of chum.
Real bag of chum.
All right. To this buoy. Yes, oh yeah. Yep. Nice dip. Oh, come on now. Oh yeah. There goes Alex.
Yeah, it's your dip mask here. Dip and a mouse. You want to twice dip, one dip. Dip three
Twice
times.
dip.
I want double dip.
Double dip. They're for free.
There you go. Nice.
Thank you, sir.
Help me, baby.
Okay, and now that we're in here, we have a little bit of a swim out to our blue water zone, and while it's usually a pretty long swim today, it's a little bit on the shorter side, which is great, but right away the sharks start following us. We don't even have the flasher line down, we haven't thrown any chum yet, and they already know what we're up to. So we finally get out to the blue. I drop down to about 40 feet or so and crush up a handful of chum, so I can get it down lower in the water column to start our day before we start chumming from the top. And the sharks are just all over us. So it's going to take a team effort today to make this happen, but it is beautiful out. And as luck would have it, I see an ono only about 20-30 minutes in, which is very rare for us. I chase him down. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing or not. I'm trying not to fin too hard. I'm trying to pull him away from the swim line to the left a little bit. I keep pulling the flasher to the left and see if I can get him to circle around. And he's curious, but he's just not closing the gap. It's early in the day. I haven't taken very many drops, so I don't really have the breath hold to chase him down. So I'm going to surface. And as I surface, he follows me up a little bit, circles around towards Alex. Alex is down there. He chases it down, but this thing is way bigger than it looks. It's much further away than Alex thinks, and he takes a shot and misses by a long shot. This shark comes in so close, I almost get a hold of his tail. Back up, buddy. And then maybe another 20-30 minutes later, I see another shadow move down there that I recognize, and that's another ono. He's about 40 feet down, and I take a very gentle drop down this time. I'm going to try not to spook him. I'm still trying to figure this ono game out. I probably faced a little bit too hard at him and he swam away from me. I'm thinking he's well within range, but he's not. And I just tap him in the belly. The tip of the spear goes in, it rips right out, breaks my heart, and I am wondering if I'm ever going to land an ono. And then for about the next hour, we are just feeding sharks, and that's about all we do out here. Swim down, poke the sharks a little bit to play with them. They're being very tame today, a little bit too close, but very non-aggressive. It's kind of cool to hang out with them. And then we start drifting back towards the reef, and we're over about 120 feet of water here, and this lie keeps zipping through and eating all the chum, so I figured I'll turn him into chum. I put a really bad shot into him, but I land him anyway. And he ends up being a little bit bigger than I thought. I'm thinking, I don't have any fish yet today, so I'm going to keep him just in case. And if I get a big fish, then I'll chum him up. But for now, I haven't had a lie in a long time, and they're not too bad, so I'm going to take him home at least for now. And now, as we're swimming in, this school of kamanus comes in out of nowhere. And I take a drop down, and some of them are little, some of them are big. And I'm just going to see what happens here, try not to fin. And the biggest one comes in. I take an easy shot onto him, but he's way bigger than I think. He's much further away than I think, and I miss right underneath the bottom of him. And that's it. I quit. I am done spearfishing. All my gear must go. Take what you want. I'm out of here. And before I do, I'm going to punish myself with another deep drop. And my watch isn't really working too well today. It only shows me my depth in real time, like when I'm at the bottom. So I'm shooting for about 100 feet here, which is about where I think the reef is. But it's a pretty steep slope, so it depends on where I hit the reef. And I haven't hit 100 feet in a while, and I'm really kind of jonesing for it. I want to start hunting past 100 again regularly. So I'm just going to take a tempering drop here to get my body used to it again, and I actually feel really good on the way down. I'm going to try to drop down to this lower platform here, and I'm not really hunting right now, obviously. I quit spearfishing, so I'm just going to go down and do a free dive drop with the gun in my hand and just see what's out here. And I check my watch. It says I'm at 92. I feel good. I'm going to crawl a little bit deeper. It's a little steeper than it looks, so I end up about 94, 95 here. And I look up, and there's a monster uku. I didn't expect to see him, but he's in the 15-pound range. So I pull my spoon out and say, "Oh, you like this? It's nice and shiny. Come get some." And he shows his interest. He comes in, and this gentle movement of extending my gun out spooks him. I shouldn't have done that. I should know better. I go to close the gap, but I've had too many far misses today. I'm not going to risk it when I'm this deep. So I head up, and I'm just going to go down for one more of the day. I just need to get a little bit more depth. I want to see if I can find the uku again. So as I drop down here, I pass my previous point, but my watch is not working at all. So I don't know how deep I am, but it's definitely past where I was. So I'm probably about 100, maybe a little bit more. And I'm thinking looking down at my watch might bring some fish in, and I look around and there's absolutely nothing. So we call it a day. I am done. So I just got out of a nice long decompression shower, and I had some time for reflection about today. And really I was thinking I'm not going to make this an episode, because who wants to see a few misses and one garbage fish, right? That doesn't make for good content. But after thinking about it a little bit, we actually had a really good day out there, and we had a lot of fun. It's always hanging out with those guys. They're some of my best friends in the world, and it was a really nice day out there, and we got some good drops in. We saw some good fish. We had some close calls, but the message I think I want to send about today is that this is about lifestyle. I'm never going to fake anything on this channel. Everything's real in real time. And that's just the reality of what happens sometimes. Sometimes you go out with your best foot forward. We brought a lot of chum on a flasher line. We felt good. We had this plan. It was a great day. Went to the right location. Didn't happen. So at the end of the day, that's the reality of what we have to deal with sometimes when you're harvesting your own food out in the wild. And for us, it's way more than that too. It's really about sending a message about sustainability and independence and freedom and strength and health. And I think that all kind of goes along with this whole thing, and understanding that sometimes it really doesn't work out the way you want it to, and that's cool. That's what makes the magic happen on those days when it does all come together. So I thought it was very important that I do show today. This episode might not do that well, and that's okay, because at the end of the day, I'm still doing this for me and my friends, and to document my career and my life and the lifestyle, and to share it with you guys, people that get it. And if you don't like this episode, that's cool. I'll have some cool ones in the future that are going to be bangers, but this one I think is really important for me to put out. And in that way, this does feel a little bit special. Because at the end of the day, it's about the reality and sending a good message. So thank you guys so much for your consistent support, and I look forward to a lot more and having some good days out there. Oh, yeah, you coming to hang out with me? See, I got support everywhere I go. Not the most prized fish in the ocean, but we'll take what we can get sometimes, and it's still a good eating fish, so we're gonna chop this guy up. Very tough skin, and you can actually use this skin as flashers or bait because it's so shiny. And it's a very underrated fish. They're not great, but they are good. They're mackerel, they're really oily. The meat is really dark red. They make good poke bowls. You can sashimi them. Looks like kamanu, but it does not taste like kamanu. But I was out there anyway. I'm not gonna come home empty-handed because I gotta eat. So we're gonna eat. Boom. Did a really bad job with that. So I'll take the scraps off there. I'm really tired though, so I'm gonna give myself a break. Okay, so we're gonna keep it super simple and go with one of our all-time favorite go-tos, and that's just tortillas. Megan's been making sourdough tortillas, and they are awesome. And so we're gonna use those. We're gonna fry up that fish. We're gonna eat them. The pan is preheated, so now we're gonna throw a fat slab of butter in there. Throw them in that hot butter. All the rest of these off that plate. Garlic, salt, black pepper, ginger, a little cayenne. Megan's adding mayonnaise to the lightly toasted tortillas and put cheese on top of that. Oh, yeah. Show me that cheese. All right. Put smaller pieces on there with the bigger pieces. And a little bit more. And furikake for mine. Spicy ketchup. I'm gonna go with a little bit of poi on mine. Megan will go with a little bit of sprouts on hers. that. We did it. Thank you so much for learning how to make tortillas out of her own sourdough starter. Yeah, saving us a lot of money, and they're way better. So yeah, it doesn't always go how you expect it out there, but still get to eat, doing awesome, and these are gonna be amazing. So without further ado, burritos are some of our favorite thing to eat. Just haven't done one in a while. It just don't miss. And honestly, I might have said some bad things about lye, but it's a good fish.
It's my first time trying it. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Don't underestimate any fish out there. There's a lot of edible fish that are awesome if you do them right. But we're gonna eat. That was a really long day. I'm gonna call it there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Catch you next time.